Hello, welcome to the explanation of this problem. So the problem name is longest substring of all vowels in order, right? So this problem was asked in the LeetCode contest 238. Let's understand what this problem asks of us. So we know that in English language there are 5 vowels A, E, I, O and U, right? A string is considered to be a beautiful string if it contains all the vowels in it, and these vowels must appear in alphabetically sorted order, which means that E will come after A, I will come after E, and so on, right? So some examples of beautiful strings are given to us here. These two strings are considered to be beautiful because it contains all the vowels and they are in sorted order. But this string U, A, E, I, O, it contains all the vowels, but they are not in sorted order, right? So these are not beautiful strings. Now we'll be given a very long word, and in this word we have to find the length of the longest beautiful substring, right? So if we can, let's just see the example 2 here. So at first glance, we see that till here we are maintaining the order property, but U is not in this substring, so this cannot be a beautiful substring. From A till U, we do not have all the vowels. So again, this is not a beautiful substring. This is a beautiful substring. Why? Because it contains all the vowels and they are in sorted order too. So the length of this substring is 5, hence the answer is 5, right? Okay. So let's try to understand how we are going to approach this problem. Yeah, so I have my whiteboard here and I have taken one example of my own because this example is an example which covers all the edge cases, right? I did not like all the examples given in the question itself, so I created my own example. Okay, so this is the word that has been given to us, right? And we have to find the length of this longest beautiful substrate. Perfect. Okay, so what we are going to do is we will iterate our string from 0th to n minus 1th index, right? And we will check one very important thing. For example, let me consider index 1. Okay, let me consider index 2 and 3. When we are iterating from 0 till n minus 1, what we need to make sure is that word I should be smaller than or equal to word I plus 1. Why? Because we want an alphabetically sorted order, don't we? So for example, for indices 1 and 2, word I and word I plus 1 are, for index 1, word I is equal to word I plus 1. For index 2, word I is less than word I plus 1. So these are following the sorted order, right? So one condition which we wanted to check the order can be easily inferenced from this if condition, right? One another thing that we need to make sure is that in our substring that we are selecting, all the vowels should be present. I think that's easy enough to do. What we can do is we can maintain a map. Now this map will initially have A, E, I, O, U as keys, and their values will of course be 0. Please do not create any confusion between my O and my 0. So let me put this in quotes representing that this is a character and these are the integers, right? So initially they will be 0, and as and when we encounter a character, we will simply increment its value in the map. Now let's understand how we are going to iterate through this word. This is a very interesting problem. So when I'm iterating from index 0 till the n minus 1th index, one condition is clear that I have to check if word I is smaller than or equal to word I plus 1. As long as this is true, we are in the clear. What we will do is we'll maintain a len variable and we'll keep incrementing 1 to this length, right? This is basically our current length. This will maintain the current length of the string that we have encountered so far, or let me say the substring that we have encountered so far. So we are at this A, length is 1, at this A, length is 2, at this A, length is 3, and the value of A in our map is 3, right? Perfect. Then we encounter these three E's, and again, this condition is being satisfied. So E will also be equal to 3. Next, we encounter I. This condition is satisfied, and I becomes 1. Then we encounter two O's. So O will be 0. Then we encounter an A. Now this O and this A, these do not satisfy this condition. So of course this if will break. Now when this if breaks, we need to make sure that the substring that we have iterated so far till this point, right? The substring till this point contains all the vowels. This is something that we need to make sure. How will we do that? We'll need to confirm that each and every value corresponding to all the keys in our map are non-zero. In this map, U will be 0, right? O actually became 1 because we encountered two, O became 2, sorry, O became 2 because we encountered two O's, but U remains 0. So this is not a beautiful substring, right? So let's just discard this area. We do not need this area anymore, right? We don't need this. Till here, our length was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Our length was 9, right? But since we have discarded this substring and we are again beginning our iteration from this, we'll again initialize it to 1. Why 1? Why not 0? Because we have already reached 8. Okay. Again, we'll continue our iteration and we'll check this condition, and we'll also reset our map, and then we'll restart the map filling process again. Okay. So we encountered an A, length is 1, cool. So A becomes 1. We encountered an E, length has now been changed to 2. We encountered an I, an O, and a U. So I'm quickly filling it I, O, U, 1, 1, 1, and our length has now become 5. Perfect. So now when we encounter this A, we'll see that this if condition is not satisfied, isn't it? This if condition is no longer satisfactory. So since we have broken out of if, we have an else for this area where we are checking whether each and every value in our map is non-zero, number one, right? Now, if this is true, if each and every value of this map is non-zero, this means that we have maintained the order property, and we have also maintained the fact that each and every vowel has been encountered in this substring, right? And the length of this substring is 5. So a simple max function will enable us to store our max length. So let me keep an integer max underscore length, and it will contain the value of max of length comma max length. Right, I think this much is clear. So initially max length was 0 because we had not encountered any satisfactory substring as of now. Now we encountered 5, so our max length will now change to 5. Let me maintain it somewhere here. So our max length has also been changed to 5. Okay, now since this part of the substring is over and now we are going to begin an iteration over this part, let us reset everything again. Except max length, everything will be reset again. So our map has been reset and our length has been reset to 1. Let's begin our map again. And A has been encountered. So as you can see, length is 1 and the value of A is 1. EIO. EIO. So E becomes 1, I becomes 1, O becomes 1, and U becomes 3. See, 1, 2, 3. Now we can clearly see that this is our new maximum length, right? But let's not hurry. What we need to understand is this time, this condition was always satisfied. This condition was never broken. We see our for loop for the iteration over the substring is ended and this if was not satisfied, right? This means that our pseudocode will look something like this. Let me explain the pseudocode. Our if condition is here. As long as it is being satisfied, we are incrementing the length and we are updating the map. When this condition is no longer satisfied, in our else, what we are doing is we are checking if the map has no non-zero values, right? So check map. And if the map has no non-zero values, what we're going to do is we are going to update our max length with the equation that I taught you at this area, max length comma length. So update max length. Now this else was dependent on this if. When this condition was not satisfied, we are going on to this if. But in this case, when our and this all is happening inside a for loop. Let me erase it. This area, let me erase it. I think this is something that we have remembered till now. And all of this was happening inside a for loop, which was iterating over our word string from 0 till n-1. Cool. Okay. Now what we need to understand is this if condition never got broken. Still, we found a substring. This simply means that the check that we are doing inside else will also do that outside our for loop. Why? Because of the case where where the word is like A, E, I, O, U, the if condition never broke. So outside our for loop, we'll again have to update max length after checking the map, right? Let me repeat this very quickly. So we are iterating over our word, and if this condition breaks, obviously we'll check the map and update max length. What happens if this condition never breaks? What happens if this condition never breaks, but the for loop ends? Then again, also we'll have to check the map and update the max length. And such a case, I told you I selected this substring because it's covering all the edge cases. So now we've encountered such a case. So now the checking of the map and updation of the max length is happening outside the for loop. So let's quickly check the map and update our max length. So our map has no non-zero values. So this constraint is satisfied. And the length that we were maintaining till now, this length variable would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now max length will become max of the previous max length that we have maintained, comma the length that we have just attained. So this will be max of 5, 7, and you know the answer to this will be 7. So the output for this substring, the output for this word will be 7 because the length of the substring, maximum length of the beautiful substring is 7, which we have encountered over here. So I hope this problem is clear. I hope that you understood what happens if we encounter a beautiful substring somewhere in the middle of the word, and what happens if we encounter a beautiful substring somewhere at the end of this word. This will be tackled by else, and this will be tackled outside our for loop. Suppose this was not a beautiful substring. Again, it would have been tackled outside the for loop, right? Suppose we did not have these U's. Again, we would have checked outside the for loop, and the map constraint would not have been satisfied. So we would not have updated our maximum. So I hope this problem is now clear. Thank you.